Welcome friends. Today we'll be discussing about self-supervision. Self-supervision is performance and development for both. Self-directed supervision is a supervision where is an opportunity for the educator to work individually without direct supervision of their supervisors. So that is self-direction. Now you do have different models where you have management, development, mediation and support. All will like experience, reflection, analysis and plan of actions. You can have as a self-directed self-supervision. Now self-directed supervision is a professional one who can and will take personal responsibility for their own professional growth and development. This professional will develop a plan for the year. The professional is permitted room for development. Flexibility is the key to this area of self-directed supervision. A portfolio would chart the progress of this professional through a collection of work, evaluation, products, professional training, etc. And this professional will also understand to use the journal entries and the documents, growth and development throughout the year. And this professional would also have the new objectives for future professional development growth, and other self-directed supervisory cycles would be the set. So benefits of this is the ideal to those who desire to work alone, ideal for those whose schedules are not conducive to working with others in a collegial format, and efficient use of time and energy, and allows for collaboration with administration or supervisory staff. In most of us in the top level, though we work with so many people in team and all, again we have to work alone also some of the things. So we don't need a supervisor. We have to supervise ourselves. This benefits the more. So what is the basic supervision? So understanding the supervision, manager and leader. Supervision deals with individuals and tasks. Management deals with groups and priorities. Leadership deals with strategic issues. So we have to understand, we have to divide this. So what is the role of a supervisor is establish the climate of human relationship at the department level, shape the attitudes that motivate employees towards better performance. So we are talking about supervision because at the top level management we should be the supervisors too. Counsel and discipline employees, initiate and recommend, plan and maintain, coordinate the activities of the department. So dear friends, supervision is very important in an organization, and you have a supervisory role to play. So there are different styles of supervisory styles, we call it. There is an autocratic style, there is a mixed style, then there is a participative style, and then management styles. So the participative style is the most important one. It is people oriented, open and direct communicator, believes people, emphasis on nature, group decision, and works best with independent, self-reliant and experienced workers. Dear friends, there are many management styles like tough guy style and nice guy style. So theory X management, theory Y management. No, but ideal compromise is good managers realize that they don't have to be tough guys all the time, and nice guys often finish first. So dear friends, we have to understand the leadership. In a supervision, we have even the leadership qualities, and the 4 domains of the leadership needs to be taken, and a successful leader is to have ability to develop potential, establish and communicate goals and positive assumptions for the potential, commitment to the excellence, and focus on the human aspects of task. So these functions, improving individual performance, developing teamwork, managing change, building mutual positive and collaborative relationships, encouraging involvement and initiative, developing in others increased vision and commitment to goals. All this is very important in the supervisory role. The leadership functions in the supervisory role. Facilitative leaders you should be. You should lead, facilitate, coach, team leader and change agent. There are 7 practices for a facilitative leader. Bring out the best in others, share an inspiring vision, focus on results, process and relationship, seek maximum appropriate involvement, model behaviors that facilitate collaboration, design pathways to action, celebrate accomplishments. Dear friends, how to keep your good employees? Vary daily tasks, assign special projects, solicit suggestions and implement where possible, and cross-train. Your environment, how would you like to work with you, needs to be enhanced. Welcome back, friends. We were discussing about how the environment should be. How would you like to work for you in a self-supervision? We have to understand in a supervision, before we start supervising, we have to understand is, do I provide my employees a comfortable workplace? Am I easily accessible to my employees? Open door policy. Do I offer flexible work hours when needed? Do I prepare my employees for changes that will affect them? Do I treat all employees as equals and with consistency? Do I allow workers flexibility in how they do their jobs? Do I provide opportunities for stress reduction? Yes, dear friends, giving recognition is the most important thing. Employees aren't frequently told how they are doing. Managers' comments to employees are often neutral or negative. So these are the problems. So we have to understand there are 2 ways of reward and motivation. Give something pleasant, take away something unpleasant. Giving recognition, encourage people to repeat behaviors that lead to the right results, build self-esteem and confidence, help people stay centered in an ever-changing work environment. Promote a sense of belonging, build pride in individual and group accomplishments. The key actions are: identify an opportunity for giving recognition, describe behavior as immediately and as specifically as possible, state how the behavior made a difference to you and to the organization. Managing conflict in the workplace is the most important aspect in the supervision. The principles will be there, the cost will be there. So, principles will be: the conflict is normal, conflict can be desirable when controlled, uncontrolled conflict is always costly. And the cost is the time is wasted, productivity is not there is no harmony, there is no team atmosphere, and your image also will get affected. How to handle conflicts quickly and effectively? Deal with the conflict immediately. Identify the source of the problem. Handle it face to face. Consider the personality traits. Ask for input and propose solutions. Avoid emotions. Use logic or schedule a follow-up meeting. Delegation. Delegation is an essential part of any manager's job. Understanding the advantages, traps, and guidelines of delegation can make this role more comfortable and more effective for you. So why should you delegate? Develop employees, give you, the manager, time to do other tasks, improve your productivity. Delegation considerations. Consider abilities and available resources. Capitalize on employee strengths. Delegate tasks requiring skills. Employees are expected to have it. Delegate complete projects. Consider job postings. When delegating, give your employees both the responsibility and authority to complete the tasks. Common traps in delegating work is too much control, not enough follow-up, lack of direction, lack of recognition. Guidelines for successful delegation is: Tell them what you expect, especially prioritize responsibilities, check for understanding, ask for verbal commitment, and schedule periodic checkpoints to hold employees accountable and give feedback. So, communication. Effective communication is a passing of information between one person and another that is mutually understood and results in the other person behaving in a manner which demonstrates his or her understanding. Communication in a diverse team. Treat each person as an individual. Only judge a person on his or her merits. Avoid thinking in terms of us and them. Because when you are supervising, you have to understand this. Focus on what people do or do not do, or not what they look like or what they believe in. In supervision, it is the fact. Employees think, employees say is a motivation, but employees do is the performance. So, your research supervision is also very important. How do you research? And you have to supervise because you are all again the scientists, so-called in the authority, the management science or research science or whatever area of you need the research. You supervising, supervision relationship, contextual supervision roles and responsibilities. So you are supervision rather than a supervisor. Research is a supervision. Mentoring. In researching you need mentoring, coaching, facilitators and sponsors. You have to help your workforce because if you are a researcher, then you will see that all of them start working towards that. Mentoring. A role requires specific subject expertise and includes mentoring students, encouraging publishing, encourages networking, helps with seminars and conference presentations, assists with career goals. Dear friends, coaching. The coach role involves helping candidates develop their research expertise while they are actually doing their research project. So each one of you do your research project. So you should know how to supervise your research project. Progressing and facilitating the candidature. The fact progressing of the candidate role can be thought towards facilitating related functions like monitoring progress, periodically reviewing supervision arrangements, negotiating availability and initiating contact, and devoting sufficient time to the person who are under the supervision. And sponsoring a person who is working on ensuring their candidature. Should one person do all this? That's the biggest question. Yes, in supervision we need to have a lot of tools, expectation scales, learning needs analysis, supervisory alignment, and memorandum of understanding. Expectation scale is the read and decide where you fit on the scale for the points discussed with each group. Communication techniques. Your communication technique should be very good under supervision. So, hard facts, code of practice, HRD enrollments, progression and completion, evaluation data, and HRD experience and supervision. Intellectual climate. So, all these evaluation strategies are very important. Supervision is very difficult to evaluate. We can evaluate through questionnaire, but again the supervision and coming out with the performance details is the most important thing. Stages of candidature, supervisory panels, how do you discuss, where you put it, and feedback on the work. What makes you useful of the feedback, what is timely, and in small groups doing it, monitoring the progress in the groups also, and examination, working out, experiencing the examination report, what they give, how they give, and in that expect, come to a decision, formate it, believe it, and are you reluctant to take up much notice of it also is very important. Experienced examiners appear to be fiercely independent in their views. hold varying views, and then inexperienced examiners also will be there. They might just observe and give it. So have a high level confidence, even though they have inexperience, but you can have confidence if they are very honest in their supervision role. Strategies for examining is also different. Examiner approaches the task differently. The reports demonstrate a good thesis, and supervision in models are the most important thing. As supervision becomes more purposeful, there are three types of models emerge: the developmental model, the integrated model, and the oriented specific models. And these models will help you to develop supervision. Dear friends, supervise honestly, trustworthily, in an effective way. Thank you. Welcome, friends. Today we will be talking about strategic planning. In self-enhancement skills, strategic planning is very important. Now, you might have an internal scan and strategical identity, strategical plan, and internal scan and external scan. First, it starts with external scan, then go to the internal scan, then strategic identity, then go into the strategic plan. What is strategic plan? A certain sequence of choices brought you to this place. Strategy takes a grand vision and turns it into something useful. The process is to provide direction, for example, meaning from day-to-day activities. It examines values, current status, and environment, and relates those factors to the organization's future state, usually expressed in 5 to 10 year time periods. Dear friends, then we have to understand what are the benefits of strategic planning. Strategic planning allows people to feel in control of their future, along with an increased confidence that stepping up to opportunities and managing threats. Proactive and not reactive. Now, strategic planning cycle. We start plan to plan. Plan, then go for the mission, goals and values, external needs and the trends assessment, then strategic objections, where you can outcome the performance also measures, strategic priorities, then strategies, and then performance feed forwarding, and then again to plan. So plan to plan, strategic planning cycle is that. Now, planning theme. Keep the group small and manageable. Entire board, principal, other key individuals, presidents, vice president, include a variety of personalities, backgrounds and thinking styles, include others through direct means. The leader of the strategic plan process should be neutral and understand the planning. Strategic planning values the governance. So, dear friends, strategic planning, when values governance, it is continuity and survival, consensus on the ownership and improvement, and grant writing. Dear friends, strategic planning also increases the likelihood of the success, builds a shared vision of the stakeholders, garners broad-based support. Strategic planning process flow model will help you focus on the important issues, make the plan workable. The plan should be motivating, not burdensome. Make it simple in the beginning. Strategy formulation, vision and mission statement, external environment, profile, and long-term objectives. And understand the visioning of it, and garner goal setting, action planning, and monitoring, and then diagnosing the phase. SWOT analysis should be taken. Now, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats need to be worked on. Long-term objectives have to be worked on, like acceptable, flexible, measurable, motivating, suitable, achievable. Needs as identified by group, board of directors, development and strengthening, educational programs, objectives, staff growth and professional development, facilities development or improvement, viability to support the dream, program objectives and organizational objectives. Now, in the module, we have taken organization as an example, and best organization I felt a school can be taken today in the modern world. It is almost like a corporate setting now. So that has to be taken care, and the example is given in a school organization. Now, need states as a long-term objectives, board of directors, educational program objectives, staff growth and professional development, strategy and implementation, annual objectives, functional strategies, policies, evaluation and control. A good strategic plan should address critical performance issues, create the right balance between what the organization is capable of doing or what the organization should like to do, cover a sufficient time period to close the performance gap, visionary, flexible, guide decision making at lower levels. Dear friends, what is then corporate strategic planning? Now that's the most important thing, as you have to know what is an organization, profit or non-profit, exists to accomplish something. Selling something, ideas, goods, services or events, lend money, a night's lodging or a provide energy or provide a service or entertainment, transportation and healthcare. So all this is called SLAAPP program. Look at trends. There are strengths and weaknesses in the company's resources and opportunities and threats in the company's external environment. Corporations as mighty as General Motors, Sears and IBM brought to their knees by ignoring change. Management must define its mission. What is our business? Who is our customer? What is the value of our customers? What should our business be? Now, in the strategic planning, you need to know the cycle of the strategic planning too. Core competencies. Simple, not list of your products and services. 4 distinctive features: knowledge, experience, resource and people. Knowledge, what you know and learn. Experience, what you have been through. Resources, what you have. People, what you do and how you do it. You can try to cut costs, but what about a better information system? So, strategic planning should understand this. The company's specific mission or purpose is usually clear when the company is funded. When you found it, it is very clear. Successful companies raise those questions constantly. The answers are shaped by history of the company, current preferences, market environment, resources, distinctive competencies and a well worked out mission. Dear friend, there should be control, prioritize and improve in the strategy execution. Strategic planning is a managerial process of developing and maintaining a strategic fit between the organization's objectives and resources and its changing market opportunities. Role of strategy: corporate mission and objectives, strategy, corporate business and functional and operating plans. The strategy, Sun-Tile strategy is: know your enemy, know yourself, and your victory will not be threatened. Know the terrain, know the weather, and your victory will be complete. So, dear friends, you should know how you have to go through your strategy, and the strategic planning will help you. Strategic management with strategic marketing. Marketing strategy is a series of integrated actions leading to a sustainable competitive advantage. Corporate mission should be broad purposes of organization, general criteria for assessing the long-term organizational effectiveness, driven by heritage and environment. Mission statements are increasingly being developed at the SBU level as well. Strategic planning needs taking it up and corporate culture. The most abstract level of managerial thinking is how do you define culture? What is the significance of culture to an organization? How does marketing affect culture in the organization? Corporate objectives and goals. An objective is a long-term range purpose. A goal is a measurable objective of the business. What is strategic business unit? A set of products or product lines with clear independence from other products or product lines for which a business or marketing strategy should be designed. Dear friends, the characteristics of viable SBU is unique business mission, definable set of competitors, integrative planning done independently, responsible for resource management in all areas, large enough but not so large as to become bureaucratic. Action plan, the results. Key elements of marketing strategy formulation. There are three strategies, three C's: customers, competitors, and the corporation. Environment analysis, the pest analysis. Strategic marketing plan is where to compete, how to compete, and when to compete. Dear friend, a viable marketing strategy must have a clearly defined market, must have a good match between corporate strength and market needs, must have significant positive differentiation in the key success factors of the business. Dear friends, there should be situational analysis, internal analysis, external analysis, SWOT analysis based on the firm core competencies, strategic management and business policy, how strategic management evolves, financial planning, forecast-based planning, strategic planning, external-oriented planning, strategic management. Benefits of strategic management is long-term orientation and fit between environment, strategy, structure, and process may lead to competitive advantage. Challenges, globalization and e-commerce. Basic model of strategic management is four basic elements. There is environmental scanning, strategy formulation, strategy implementation, and evaluation and control. The nature of strategic management. Art and science of formulating, implementing, and evaluating cross-functional decisions that enable an organization to achieve its objective is a strategic management. Now, strategic formulations, you have strategic implementation and strategic evaluation. So, exercising the effective strategic leadership is also very important. So, dear friends, have a good strategy, plan, execute in a proper way. Thank you. Stress management. Dear friends, welcome to the last session in the 5H training program called stress management. This is the 100th skill which we are talking to you, and this is the last skill. Anybody needs to be very careful. Now, stress management. What is stress? This is a dangerous topic. There has been many different definitions of what stress is, whether used by psychologists, medicos, management consultants, or others. This is to be something approaching open warfare between competing definitions. Views have been passionately held and aggressively defended. What complicates that is institutionally we all feel that we know what stress is and it is something we all have experienced. So a definition should there be obvious, expect that it is not. Stress at home, we might have stress caused by a partner, stress caused by children, stress caused by domestic arrangement, stress caused by environmental pressures upon home. Effects of too much of stress is also there. Concentration and attention span decreases. Distractically it increases. Short and long-term memory deteriorates. Response speed becomes unpredictable. error rate increases, powers of organization and long-term planning deteriorates, delusions and thought disorders increase, physical and psychological tensions increase, hypochondria increases, changes take place in personality traits, existing personality problems increase, moral and emotional constraints weaken, depression and helplessness appear. Self-esteem falls sharply, and speech problems increase, and interest and enthusiasm diminishes, absenteeism increases, drug abuse increases, energy levels are low, sleep patterns are disrupted, cynicism about clients and colleagues increases, new information is ignored, responsibilities are shifted onto others, problems are solved as at increasingly superficial level, bizarre behaviors patterns appear, suicidal threats may be made. And this situation occurs especially in the middle age mode, especially with the 40 to 60 years of age, because there will be identity crisis also. So this stress makes them do so many deteriorations. So this is the time when we have to take caution of ourselves and manage stress. We should know how to manage our stress. Learn and utilize relaxation, breathing, meditation, water inside and outside. Learn relaxation programs, change diet, give yourself permission to experience your emotions, begin the exercise programs, build healthy personal relationships, learn to control your displaced aggression, reappropriate your life and priorities, and realize that most stress is caused from within, not without. Take time to smell the flowers and taste the strawberries. Yes, friends, we have to do it. So, what is the general cause of stress at home? We know it is the organizational problems. At work is the most important thing. So, the stress at work is organizational problems, insufficient backups, long and unsociable hours, poor status, pay and promotion prospect, unnecessary rituals or procedures, or uncertainty and insecurity. So specific causes of stress at work might be unclear role specifications, role conflict, unrealistically high self-expectations, or inability to influence decision making, frequent clashes with superiors, isolation from colleague support, lack of variety, poor communication, inadequate leadership, conflicts with colleagues, inability to finish a job, fighting unnecessary battles. Unrelated causes of stress at work: difficult clients or subordinates, insufficient training, emotional involvement with clients or subordinates, the responsibility of the job, inability to help or act effectively. So there are 101 ways of coping up with stress. Dear friends, 101 ways of coping up stress is: get up morning 15 minutes earlier than what you are doing. Now today you are getting up and you are hurrying up for everything. Get up 15 minutes early. Prepared for the morning, the night before itself. Avoid tight finishing clothes. Don't wear the tight fitting clothes. Avoid relying on the chemical aids. Not too much of drugging. Set appointments ahead. Don't rely on your memory. Practice preventive maintenance. Make duplicate keys. Say no more too often. Set priorities in your life. Avoid negative people. Use time wisely. So you don't want to be stressed. Avoid all the negative people, because you have to consider yourself. Too much of stress it will be. Simplify meal times. Always make copies of important papers. Anticipate your needs, and always have the reaction to the stress. Repair anything that doesn't work properly. Ask for help with the jobs you dislike. Break large tasks into bite-sized portions. Look at problems as challenges. Look at challenges differently. Unclutter your life. Smile. Be prepared for rain. Tickle a baby. Pet a friendly dog or cat. Don't know all the answers? Don't worry. Look for a silver lining. Say something nice to someone. Teach a kid to fly a kite. Walk in the rain. Schedule playtime into every day. Take a bubble bath. Be aware of the decisions you make. Believe in yourself. Stop saying negative things to yourself. Visualize yourself winning. Develop your sense of humor. Stop thinking tomorrow. Why will it be better today? Have goals for yourself. Dance a jig. Say hello to a stranger. Ask a friend for a hug. Look up at the stars. Practice breathing slowly. Learn to whistle a tune. The stress management needs a therapy too. Go to a spa or exercise, hobby, meditation, yoga, nature, time management, or music. All these are therapeutic. Read a poem, listen to a symphony, watch a ballet, read a story, do a brand new thing, stop a bad habit, buy yourself a flower, take time to small, find support from others, ask someone to be your vent partner, do it today. Work at beginning cheerful and optimistic. Put safety first. Do everything in moderation, not too much, not less. Pay attention to your appearance. Strive for excellence, not perfection. Stretch your limits a little each day. Look at the work of art. Hum a jingle. Maintain your weight. Plant a tree. Feed the birds. Practice grace under pressure. Stand up and stretch. Always have a plan B. Learn a new doodle. Memorize a joke. Be responsible for your feelings. Learn to meet your own needs. Become a better listener. Know your limitations. Tell someone to have a good day in throw a paper airplane. Exercise every day. Learn the words to a new song. Get to work early. Clean out one closet. Play patty cake with a toddler. Go on a picnic. Take a different route to work. Leave work early. Put air freshener in your car. Watch a movie and eat popcorn. See, these are the stress relaxation. You have to write a note to a faraway friend. Go to a ball game and scream. Cook a meal and eat it and candlelight. Recognize the importance of unconditional love. Remember that stress is an attitude. Here I would like to emphasize, dear friends, stress is an attitude too. And I feel stress will be there, but don't feel that stress. And don't feel that stress and bring it to your life where you will spoil your life. So be cautious and don't have this attitude. There is no job occupational stress. When we take work as work and involve ourselves and we like our work and we are show interest in our work, there is no stress at all. Keep a journal. Practice a monster smile. Remember you always have options. Have a support network of people. Quit trying to fix other people. Get enough sleep. Talk less and listen more. And freely praise other people. Absolutely no cost for it. So bonus for the whole thing is relax. Take each day at a time. You have the rest of your life to live. Smart techniques should be observed to take out the stress and have a social adjustment skills. Stress and your health is a very important thing. Behavioral effects of your stress, the heart disease, take care of it, and fight or flight response can become lethal. Other effects of stress need to be like a immune system, and it gets affected. Stress, the you should be careful. Medically proven stress contributes to heart disease, strokes, high blood pressure, clotting, irritability, rheumatism, depression, migraines, diabetes, hardening of the arteries, insomnia, fatigue, sex problems, skin diseases, allergies, overeating, asthma, kidney disorders, ulcers, breathing problems, increased smoking, and alcohol. It affects your life. So the stress does affect all these things. But you should see that stress doesn't affect us to get all these things. All these are sweet cakes given by the God to us. Yes, He has given so many things. I always tell people, God, according to our philosophy, Brahma sits and creates. He creates the whole world. And He gives everybody everything. He says, this is your job, she is your wife, these are your parents, these are your children, this is the wealth you will have a house, you will have a car. But He has all these things also with Him. So He will say, you have this. You better go because with your work, you might have a heart disease, or with your attitude, you might have this stress, or because of your bad habits, you might have this, or because of your stress levels of the working levels or bad eating habits, you might have diabetes. All these things He will give one. So I always ask them, take it smilingly. Let us take it smilingly and not bother much about it, not spend your lot of time on it, but to take care. Take care and keep yourself healthy. You will have all these things, but then your willpower should see that you come out of it. First physically you should come out of it, or first mentally you should throw all of them out, come out of it, and then you will be very happy. Bring up the willpower is the most important thing in the stress levels. To maintain stress, I always feel there is no occupational stress at all any time in the life. The stress levels you should understand. The highest stress is the death of the spouse, is the highest stress for anybody. 100%. Nobody can take it that. But then stress levels are there from 0.1 to 0.100. Each one will give you the stress. Even the losing of the job will be only 10 to 15 to 20%. Not having money may not be a stress at all for some people. For some people, they go on thinking about it and have more stress on it. So avoid these contributions of medical proven contributions to your health due to stress. So dear friends, stress and your performance makes you. So you have to follow a psychological and physiological pattern of stress remulates that we call it as BREADS. Belief system and breathe system. Psychological is belief system, physiological is breathe system. Psychological is relationship system, relaxation system. Education system, exercise system. Attitude system, activity system. Determination system, diet system. Serenity system and sleep system. So follow the psychological and physiological pattern. You will be away from your stress. Positive effects of the pressure should be there on your, and take out the negative. It haunts you, it will come back, but it is better to keep that away from you. Pressure and performance are, it will invert it you. So introducing stress management to us, managing stress levels is meditation first, generalizing a diary, you can write conflict resolution, leading a balanced life, leading present moment, awareness, physical activities, and personal productive skills. Dear friends, action oriented, you should be emotionally oriented, acceptance oriented. How can you manage your stress? Work on this. Action oriented approaches will help you avoid burnout, and stress management techniques inculcate like stress management, stress diary, as we said, job analysis, performance planning, imagery, physical relaxation techniques, thought awareness techniques, rest, relaxation, and sleep techniques, and burnout self text. So each technique, a lot of techniques are given in the manual. Go through and adapt to the techniques where it will help you to come out of the stress. To have a healthy, happy life, always we have to have first stress out from our life. I'm not saying that there will not be stress. It exists. So it is a fact. Understand it. Take it. See that your willpower brings you out from the stress. Don't worry about it. Of course, now and then it will be. Occupational stress produces job dissatisfaction, post-traumatic stress syndrome, increase in level of cholesterol, increased heart rate, excessive smoking which would lead to risk of having heart disease. All these are occupational stress. But see that your willpower makes you stand up. You are the winner. Initially in the public, people might say you are the loser, but you know you are the winner because you are not putting yourself to those trash. A small business success program is a stress program. Understand that and definitely use these techniques. A lot of workplace techniques are given. See that you follow the successful management techniques, like make stress your friend. Yes, the first thing is make your stress as your friend. Stress is a contagious. It won't stay with. Copy good stress managers. Use heavy breathing. Stop stress thought trains. Know your stress hotspots and trigger points. Eat, drink, sleep, and be merry. Do all these relaxation techniques and then stress management techniques will help you relax yourself. Do yoga. Yoga will, if you can, do Padmasana. It will help you. Virasana. After the eating of food, if you sit, Virasana or Vajrasana as it is called, it is very good. Vajrasana helps you. Gomukhasana, if you can, observe Sarvangasana. Yes, many people are very good at Sarvangasana. Trikosasana is very good. Halasana, Bhujangasana, Dhanurasana, all these asanas will help you, whichever you can do, because it has breathing technique. Or go to a yoga teacher, learn some of the asanas. Leisure skills also will help you to be out from your stress management. Have leisure skills with you, and those leisure skills will help you to be understanding and taking up all this. So time, money, people, and available activities, it helps you. So key for your professional life is test stress and try a refocus strategy. Refocus means recognize, empower, focus, objectivize, commit, unburden, and surprise. Dear friends, and this will help you to make you stress-free. Dear friends, thank you very much. Have a stress-free life and take up all the 100 skills in a positive way and become good managers. There's a management. All the corporate essential skills are needed for you for lifelong. This training is not just for one job, but this training is for you to be very, very practicable, creative, effective corporates and corporatists. In the corporatism, we need all these things. So thank you, friends. Enjoy.